is going on, Brad? How are you doing today, good sir?
What's up, Mike? Mike's back in his tank top. We're ready to go.
That's right. We got the crypto tank top boys.
He's got his tank top on today. We're ready to rock. I'm doing great, man. Feeling good, happy, excited, grateful for life. So yeah.
Good deal. Well, yeah, I'm in my tank top, but dude, it's a monsoon outside here in Texas. It finally broke free. So
Needed it.
100-day plus for a long time. It was ticking down a little bit, and now finally we got. Now it's flash flood. So
hey, that's the way Texas rolls. So,
exactly.
What did the great Ron Washington say? That's the way Texas go.
Yeah, basically.
That's the way baseball goes.
I like it. I don't know. It's kind of like the Texas weather has been kind of like the market. I don't know. It was like showing some signs of heat. And then it started like ticking. Then it just let loose and boom.
Boom. Dropped out the bottom. Oh, man. That's funny. Yeah. No, that's true.
I know, man. Well, I know you're gonna touch on that a little bit. I wanted to show everybody real quick one last time before we move on. I've got our boot camp here. I'll show this image we've got for that. But we had our intro to boot camp, intro to crypto boot camp the past few weeks, episodes 12 through 15. We did some awesome dives into some things like tokenomics and how to stay safe and trading plans and some really good tools that you can use in the crypto space. So definitely, if you didn't catch any of that, go check that out. It's a 4-day intro to crypto bootcamp starting at episode 12. So go check that out. And if you want to learn some more about that, other than that, man, today we are going to go over, we got a couple of news articles that I want to show. A couple of those, and then Brad's going to take us into the markets because a lot has happened in the past week. The uptick we were seeing has changed on us, so Brad's going to go a little bit deeper into that, but I want to start off with a couple of articles that I found. Share my screen here. Back to sharing the screen. I was going to continue on this whole Tornado Cash deal that went on, where Tornado Cash is a company that was kind of scrambling transactions on the blockchain, allowing people to transact a little bit more secretively, if you will. Because we know blockchain is very, very out in the open. Everybody can see what people are doing and everything. And so Tornado Cash came up with a way to hide that. But it allowed a lot of... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Malevolent type of people come in and do some things that weren't above bar. And so now the U.S. has stepped in and they're causing these projects to stay compliant. And so out of the woodworks has come a company called TRM Labs. And they are helping these companies stay compliant by basically this flip of a switch type of button. However, TRM Labs is claiming that they are not. Basically, if they start seeing these, devious looking type of transactions, you can't just turn it off or turn it on. They're leaving that up to the project. But this TRM Labs has created this project that basically scans all of these things, and they've come up with these different levels of transactions for these addresses, and they basically alert the project of the different levels of risk. And I'm showing this chart here of there's an ownership risk, there's a counterparty risk, and there's also an indirect risk. And so they've kind of come up with these different levels of on-chain risk types that alerts the project, and then basically the project decides what they want to do with it. So since the US is now kind of semi-regulating some of the transactions of what goes on, and we know that there was a lot of addresses that were blocked or frozen in the past few weeks because of these bad transactions and money laundering schemes and stuff like that with a couple of projects, this TRM Labs is capitalizing on that basically, which is what happens as the markets change and new things come up, new companies emerge and take advantage and create software and stuff like that. So just wanted to highlight this one going on. It sounds like that a lot of DeFi projects are having to start to comply to a lot more things as this market emerges. So something to watch out for there. And then this other one is about NFTs and IP rights. The common knowledge is you buy an NFT and you have the IP rights essentially for that image because it's yours, you own it. And this article is talking about how projects like maybe Bored Apes or Moonbirds have misled the buyers on their NFT IP rights. They're saying that they actually don't transfer any IP rights, which is a big problem, honestly. When you're talking about the metaverse and using these NFTs in the metaverse, what are you allowed to do? Can they just come at you at any point in time with the IP rights and these claims and everything? So just something that's just kind of emerging, and it was something I guess somebody did a deep dive on these projects and their white papers and everything. And there's certain projects out there, and they've highlighted Bored Ape and Moonbirds that they convey zero intellectual property ownership. Others like Doodles, they limit the amount of revenue that you can generate, from your derivative work for your NFT. And you can't modify the original artwork, in some of these. Gary Vee's projects has a very limited personal use only license that doesn't allow for you to make commercial products. So a lot of things coming out about these NFTs now, as NFTs grow older in age and they become more in the open. You've got projects like CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, coming up with these games and all these other use cases for their projects and stuff. And so, of course, all this is going to come into the limelight about, what do you really own? What do you really own, with this stuff? As more lawyers start getting involved and they want a piece of the action, they dig into all this stuff and they say, well, you can't use that. Let me go back to Bored Apes and then we can sue this person and so on. Anyway, so just read into this article a little bit, know what you actually own with these NFTs. There'll be more on this, I'm sure, as the months go on. But just a couple of interesting articles. We'll put these in the show notes. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of news going on with the marketplace, other than the actual ups and downs in the market. So without further ado, man, Brad, why don't you take us to the charts and show us what is going on in the markets today?
Yep, for sure. One other thing just to be paying attention to, a lot of people are talking about XRP right now. There's a lot of XRP talk in the news. What's Ripple doing? As people need to realize that Ripple and XRP are not the exact same thing. Okay. And so I know there's a lot of confusion around that. Ripple is a company. XRP is a token that company put out. Okay. So, but XRP has been big in the news recently, and it's getting a lot more social media mentions right now. It's getting a lot of more hype right now. A lot of people have been pushing XRP. Now, what has happened in the last couple of days? The price has dropped. The price of everything dropped.
Right.
But I would say it could be something to definitely be paying attention to. Do your little homework on it. I know people either love XRP or they hate it. And I'm not going to get into, my personal opinions on it right now. But I would say, look at what's going on with XRP and see if it's something that you want to look to invest in. But as I say that, let's jump over to CoinGecko. And
I have a thought. I have a thought that just came to me. I'm not even mowing my lawn, and this just came.
He's not mowing his lawn and then thought.
What if XRP is actually in bed with the government and the whole thing is actually just a smokescreen?
Bro, I totally believe that is a good deal. I think that's a nice thought, because my personal thought is that XRP has the potential to, do a lot. I mean, just okay, just search XRP news and see what comes up. All right.
Right.
So XRP news. This is just some current XRP news. Why all eyes are on XRP's price this week. Okay. And then you see, look at this. Okay. On Monday, this is a week ago. All right. But there was nearly 300 million tokens that were transferred to exchanges. All right. And you get crazy videos like this of I haven't watched this. I can't confirm that like he actually said this or not, but that's ridiculous. All right. But but there's so much talk about XRP and what it can do and how it works with the government. And it's a payment system, you know, and it helps out with that. And so you see all this stuff. It's like, okay, in 1 week ago, you see 3 signs XRP as a hot buy as Ripple bags another win. All right. And I'm not even going to read this, but I'm just showing you the headline here. In the SEC versus Ripple case, the payment giant is set to serve subpoenas and authenticate videos of SEC officials' public remarks. And then they're just going to go off on this, and they keep winning in this case. They keep winning in this case. They keep doing things. It could be where the government just says, all right, here you go, like run with it, and it just takes off. Could our XRP be part of what takes over as like digital dollar type stuff and payment processing for all the banking system? Absolutely. You know, so there's so many things that could happen there, but you know, so to your point, is XRP and the government really you know, pals? Could be the case. All right, so and this could all be smoke and mirrors. And let's look at the prices though. Okay, so CoinGecko, here we are. Over here, you guys do see my screen, right?
Yep. You're on the metaverse screen.
Okay, all right, perfect. Yep, I was looking at metaverse coins just because I was trying to see something a second ago. But let's go back to the homepage. All right. So you can see, you know, the market took a hit, and this is not really the past 7 days. It's, I mean, what's happened over the past 7 days, but it's really over the past couple days, because the weekend hit and boom, the market dropped. Okay. So Ethereum on Friday was at like 1900, and today we're sitting at 1589 at the moment. So big dump off since Friday afternoon. Okay. Bitcoin actually went into the 20s. It's pushed back up over 21 again. But this is kind of where you see ourselves. And then you see XRP down here at number 7, at 33 cents, almost 34 cents. Okay. Cardano is at 45 cents. Solana is at $34, almost $35. Okay, so that kind of rounds out your top coins list, as Dogecoin still manages to hold the 10 spot over Polkadot. So, but it had a big hit this weekend. I mean, look at the meme coins: 17% down, 23% down. Okay, so double-digit losses for both of those over the weekend, along with some of the other mainstay, like basically every single altcoin down double digits. All right, you can see that out of these top coins. All right, so you know that was the weekend hit. And so what I really wanted to talk about today was being emotionally prepared in a bear market environment. And so, you know, we can take a look at, you know, a weekly chart on Bitcoin, and let's just take a look and see what's happened. And this is sure tell signs that you're still in a bear market, guys. Is, you know, you have these, let's see if I can zoom this in a little bit more, make it prettier, easier to see. But, you know, right here is where we've been. This is weekly candles these last several weeks. And since we had that big fall off in June, we've had just kind of consolidation, and then small ticks up for a month straight. We had small ticks up for a month straight, and then boom, all of that for the last month just got wiped out, and now it's kind of settling again. All right. So this is what happens when markets move. They have to go back in and they make corrections. And so this is part of understanding technical analysis, understanding why it's kind of stopping where it is. Look, it went right back down. You know, if we, let's go to like a daily chart, see this a little bit cleaner. But it comes right back down into this level that it took off from. Took off right here. Where'd it come back down to? Right here. You know, so if you look at this candle, This is where it finally broke out of this range that it had been trading in. So let's highlight it. Trades in this range, trades in this range, trades in this range, trades in this range. It breaks out of this range, market breaks out, it comes back to the same spot it broke out of, breaks out, stays above, keeps climbing very slowly, and then crashes back down to the same area it broke out of. All right. So, this is to be expected. So if you are looking at the market and you're investing in a bear market, this is what just kills investors. All right. I was actually listening to a guy earlier today talking about his experience in the real estate market back during the big real estate recession. And he had bought a home for $800,000. And so, just picture that you got $800,000 invested. This does not have to be real estate specific, but I'm using a real estate example, and then I'm going to bring it back to the crypto markets. He had $800,000 invested in a recession market. Okay. The market starts to go down and he gets nervous. And after 2 years of being in that recession, he sold the house for $530,000. And then after his fees and everything, he took a net loss of $300,000. Okay. He was saying in this message that he Googled or he just went on Zillow or whatever and looked at the house just to like see what it was worth today. And it was worth $1.2 million.
Ouch.
So he took a $300,000 loss on an $800,000 investment because he got scared during the recession market. But if he would have just held on to his position, he could have rented out the property and let someone else pay the mortgage or whatever. Now that property that made it through the worst recession ever was now worth 50% more than what he paid for it.
Jeez.
Okay. And more than double what he sold it for, and so the thought process behind that is don't let the emotions of these markets make you make bad decisions.
Seriously.
They like take massive losses. So in this case, like where we're at today on the market, right? I just showed you the charts. Okay. Yep. So we're in a obvious bear market. We're down. Okay. But we had this nice creep back up. So, did you get invested at a low? Like, maybe you bought Ethereum at $880, $1,000 or whatever. Did you take some money off the table? Or do you even care? It depends on your trading plan. Go back to the boot camp, watch the trading plan. But like, depends on your trading plan, right? But depending on how you're emotionally affected by these markets, will dictate your outcomes of how you end up 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Yeah.
We all invest for long-term wealth for our family. All right. And so like you can play the short game and make money in the short term, but don't take long-term losses if you're looking for long-term gains. Okay. Because in the end, you're going to get through this bear market or this recession in the crypto market or whatever you want to call it. Right. But we're in this downward market. You can, manipulate how you trade in this market to be able to still make money. All right. So, but I would say if this is their first bear market that you've ever experienced, be very cautious on how you handle yourself in it. I know people that every single time they see a downtick, they buy up, and that's cool. You can do that if you want to, but know that there's a good chance that you're going to have a day like Friday or really the last couple of days where the market continues to go down, and know that this still has an outlook that it can still go down. I mean, you're not necessarily out of this yet. You're not out of this until you start seeing prices consistently stay above moving averages on the larger time frame charts. Okay. And so that's when you'll start to see, okay, now we've probably hit a bottom and we're moving up. But I still think that you have that the crypto market hasn't potentially seen a bottom. I know a lot of people are still saying that that we hit a bottom, but I still believe that we could still see some more downward action, even with big news coming out. That's why I think like a lot of this news, like with XRP, with Ethereum and things like that. There's big news that's going to be coming out in September. I mean, what's today? August the 22nd. There's going to be a lot of positive news in the crypto space over the next several weeks, leading into this Ethereum merge, leading into this XRP SEC case and things like that. A lot of times the news sets up to like make the market go up until it hits, and then boom, an event hits and the market just does the total opposite of what the retail investor thinks it's going to do. And so just be prepared for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say definitely with in bear markets, I mean, this is where the big players, lots of money, can really freak people out and very easily manipulate and take a lot from everybody because
Yes.
they fake everybody out with these upticks and then boom, they just made a ton of money, right? So
Yes.
if you
Yeah.
are playing in this, think of it more short term
Yeah.
where you're gaining 1,000 to 5,000 on Bitcoin depending where it's playing, and then getting in and out, in and out, in and out, right? It's
Yeah.
shorter plays.
Yeah.
It's not something that you have to day trade necessarily, but
Yeah.
more on like a weekly, bi-weekly time frame.
Yeah. One of my friends, I'm texting with him this morning. We weren't talking about this, but I know like his strategy during this is every time price goes down to a certain level, he buys. When it goes up a few $1,000s, he sells,
Yeah.
and so, like that's just a way, like right now, accumulating more cash flow is the best thing that you can potentially be doing. And so
And you can carve out some of that for the longer term play, and then if
yeah,
it goes down, big deal, as it
yeah,
goes up, great, right? But you
right,
can make the smaller, shorter term plays to get some
right,
more capital to play the
right.
long term game.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the importance of, being emotionally aware of where you're at, knowing how much money that you want to invest in that trading plan that we've talked about, and then knowing how to dollar cost average and scale into positions. And
Yep.
so,
Yep.
those are all big things, guys. So I would definitely, stay on top of that. But that was like my big take for today,
Yeah,
was because you felt the energy of the market over the last couple of weeks. You
for sure.
felt the energy like, oh, the crypto markets are bullish
Here we
again. We're
go.
moving up. Here it comes. And I actually, Mike, I just told you before we even started recording that I still feel like you can see the market continue to climb for the next month. Like this could just be a
Hmm.
little downturn for a second. I mean, it did hit right at basically the same level. It basically wiped out the lows, and then now it could potentially run these highs. Again, I'm just kind of looking at my chart real quick. I mean, it could potentially run those highs of 25,000 on Bitcoin and move right back up, for the next, month, and then boom, like,
Yep.
sweep the lows again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times when a low is hit, it's very, very obvious because it just like just drops like crazy. I mean, I remember watching the market melt down last year. I believe it was in November. But it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was watching the charts, and the market was Bitcoin was at like, I want to say $53,000, and it had just been up and down, and everybody was thinking, okay, it's gonna bust up, and it just been trading real flat. And if I would have had the mindset I have now, I would have traded it differently.
Mm.
But I watched one candle go from basically $53,000 to $41,000, and
Goodness.
it just started taking out positions and taking out positions. And as it starts taking out people's stop losses, that's triggering sell order after sell order after sell order on exchanges. And it
Mm,
just drops dramatically. And so I can expect something like that to happen again, still during this bear market cycle. So
right.
just be prepared for those kind of moments, and know that, when you're in a bear market, those things are going to happen. So don't be surprised when it happens, and don't allow it to be what makes you give up on investing.
Yeah.
Because if you allow that to be what lets you give up on investing 2 years from now, when we're sitting at all-time highs, and life is good and everyone else is celebrating, you're going to be back there scratching your head saying, dang it, why did I get out? Why didn't I buy up more then?
Sure.
And so just like set your mindset right. And I know we talk about this a lot, but like your mindset around investing, whether it's around real estate, which Mike and I both do, if it's around crypto, stocks, whatever, it's all about your mindset of being able to buy when everyone else is afraid, and then sell at the right times.
Yep.
And so, with that, I mean, that's what I have to share today.
Yeah.
I know that somebody out there needs to hear that. I know for me, just talking about it just reconfirms in my mind that this is the way to handle markets.
Yeah. Some of these things you
Get
need
out
to
of your own head.
hear. You need to hear over and over and over and over, right? And
Absolutely.
and it's
Someone's out there saying, man, I already know that.
yeah.
Well, how is your portfolio look? you know
Yeah.
um because I saw this the other day too. I love watching videos of guys that are like way more successful and stuff than me. And one of these guys was like, okay, you heard this before. Or he said, the thing I hate to hear the most from people, the thing that just makes my face cringe, is when people say, I already know that. And
Yep.
he's like, well, if you already know that, what are your results in that?
Yep.
you know and most people have so much information in their head, but they fail on the execution part. And it's
Mm,
like we have to like download the things that we hear over and over and over and over again, and actually start executing on them, so we can be great at them. And then that's when we know them, when
yeah.
we actually have executed on them and found success in it.
Well, and some of these things
So
you hear on repeat, and it may be the same words, but you hear it differently because you're in a different stage of your life, and so you
right.
take it and you digest it differently. Your
Yeah.
brain takes it in a little bit differently, and you get something new out of it, even though it may be the same exact thing you heard a year before or 6 months before. So it's
Hmm.
good to have some of these things wash and repeat, because
Yes.
it can help
Yes.
you figure
Yeah.
out something new that just, little pin. All right, got that one, got a new nugget out of that because,
Right.
I just heard it
Right.
again.
Right,
So,
absolutely.
well, good deal. Well, man, we were saying this one's going to be a little shorter and sweeter. So I think we've got some good nuggets for people this week. I, good insight there, regardless of whether you've heard us say these things before. Sometimes it's a good reminder when we just had the market tank like we did over the weekend.
Yeah.
And just dust yourself off, get back up. You've had your, somebody once told me, it's okay to be upset. Take your 5 minutes, be upset about it in those 5 minutes, and then leave it there and move
Right.
forward. Right? It's okay
Yeah.
to be upset. Just don't be upset over and
Right.
over for long periods of time about the same thing. Right? It doesn't get you anywhere. So, anyways, I think we gave him some good stuff. Hopefully, you guys got some nuggets out of this today and got some value. If you did, please like, share, subscribe with somebody, share this knowledge. We want more to get it.
Yeah.
We have broken the 500 listens. I think we're approaching 600 at this point, 600 plus, which is awesome. We appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't joined our Telegram yet, we've got a public Telegram. Feel free to join that. They've got links in the show notes for that.
Yep.
Links to our Instagram and Twitter accounts. If you want to follow us or reach out directly, feel free to do so. Other than that, Brad, you got anything else for us today?
Yeah, man, like, subscribe, be a part of the journey, join, talk with us, share, and maybe, you know, something that you have that you want us to talk about is what we'll talk about
Yeah,
next week.
please.
So, and I would just leave one parting thought, like, think about, you know, since we just are in this market condition that we're in right now, think about all the memes that you see, all of like the videos that you see of like, hey, my dad just found his Bitcoin wallet from, you know, 2010, and they're like celebrating and going crazy, right?
Right.
Because it's like, you know, oh my gosh, we just found this money that we thought was lost or whatever. It's like, what if you thought about your, you know, what you bought last year like that? Okay, think about what it's going to be like 5, 10 years from now. I mean,
Sure.
we are so early in this space, guys. So don't allow like, you know, one bad week to freak you out, you know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
here we go, guys. We're on our journey. It's going to be good. So you guys have an awesome, awesome day. Make it a good one, and we will see you next time.
Yep. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a great week, everybody.